Hey there, I'm Mike, and today I'm going to show you how to clean the load sense shuttle ball of a work section on a HAWE control valve if you notice the function is not operating properly and is not building proper pressure. Here are the tools you're going to need. Two 12mm wrenches, a 3mm hex key, a flat screwdriver, a 5000 psi gauge, fittings and wrenches to connect the gauge, brake parts cleaner, compressed air if it's available, and finally some caps and plugs for hoses and fittings. The steps in this video will help you with any Elliott model with a HAWE control valve. But before we get started, make sure you read, understand, and obey the manufacturer's instructions and safety rules, your employer's safety rules and worksite regulations, and all applicable governmental regulations. You also ought to make sure you have the appropriate tools, lifting equipment, and a suitable workshop. The overall condition of the equipment, maintenance, and inspection procedures are just as important as safe operating procedures and a positive attitude towards safety. All these procedures properly applied will significantly reduce the likelihood of an accident or equipment failure. Finally, feel free to pause the video at any time to make sure you're doing each step safely and correctly. All right, let's get started by disconnecting the hoses from the work section that need to be cleaned. Be sure to plug hoses and cap fittings. If the work section has an ancillary block, remove the block so you can access the load sense shuttle. Next, you're going to go ahead and remove the load sense shuttle and ball. Heads up, if the ball stays in the load sense cavity, make sure you remove it before using any spray cleaner or compressed air. Okay, from there, you're going to remove the cap nuts from the pressure limiter adjusters and go ahead and remove both pressure limiter adjuster screws, springs, and poppets. Then, spray out the load sense cavity and pressure limiter cavities. If you have any compressed air available, blow air through the load sense cavity. Now you're going to clean all the pieces you removed. After that, you can reinstall the pressure limiter poppets, springs, and adjuster screws. Then reinstall the load sense ball and shuttle. If you need to, reinstall the ancillary block. All right, next you're going to plumb a gauge to the load sense gauge port on the pressure reducing manifold. Make sure you keep the hoses disconnected and work ports capped. Then go ahead and actuate the function in one direction and check the pressure. If the pressure needs adjusted, turn the adjusting screw clockwise to increase or counterclockwise to decrease pressure until you reach the proper pressure setting. Repeat this for the other direction. You can check your operator's manual for the correct pressure setting for the function you are adjusting, or call Elliott Tech Support. Finally, reconnect the hoses, clean up, and function test the unit. All right, now that you've cleaned the load sense shuttle ball, you ought to be good to go. If you need more help, don't hesitate to reach out to one of our service techs at 531-772-0829, and make sure you check out our other technical support videos at elliotequip.com.